Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Music Talks podcast. I'm your host, Bobby Rose. So, if you have been delving into the past episodes, you will be familiar with the voice that you're listening to today, or the person that you will be watching today, depending on your mode of media consumption. As you know, she is my co-worker. We do work in the same place, in the same company, but we did work in different departments, I would say. She'll talk a bit more about what she does, but essentially we'll be talking about the copywriting, the licensing, the registration, rights, legal issues, and everything that is about music. We don't want to call it music business. We don't want to call it music administration. So we'll just call it about the management side of music, I guess. So I'll let her explain. She's more familiar with the concept behind it. But ladies and gentlemen, Miss Qisthina MK.
It's me again. Thank you for inviting me, Bobby. As you guys already know, we work together and all. I think it is fine for us to promote a bit about our company. It's called Tajak Archive Publishing, Tajak Archive Sdn Bhd. I just want to tell the name because I want to differentiate what are the companies that involved in music industry in Malaysia. So Tajak Archive Sdn Bhd is a publishing house, and Archive Capital Sdn Bhd is a record label, and the third one is the Archive Studio, is a recording studio. So obviously, I think the recording studio is already familiar to most music people out there. It's a studio where we record music and all, where the music being made. As for the record label, it's usually where the artist being managed, and also the I would say where the money involved, where the money really people know about involving in the record label, because that's where the management of the artist and the music and the master recording. I would say when you mention for the admin side, for the music label record is music master recording, and as for the music publishing, it's mainly on the songwriter, the composer and author, the one who do the musical work. Just now I say record label, master recording, publishing, musical work.
Ladies and gentlemen, you see how easy it is if all the guests that I just invite just go from 0 to 100 just like that. Exactly how Qisthina did it. It's so much easier, right? Like I didn't even have to ask. Before we get to the working side, can you just like set up the context of for the audience, for the listeners and the viewers out there? I've known you since our diploma years. Back when I was I was around my final year, you in your third year or something like that. And then you just graduated your degree. We both just graduated our undergraduate degree. And then now you're doing your postgraduate studies in music business. So can you just give us a summary on your like tertiary education process?
Oh, okay. If you want to go way back, I'm studying music with my violins. So I entered my diploma in music at UiTM together with Bobby. Bobby is my senior actually, like 2 semesters above me. And then after some I won't say accident, something happened. I couldn't really go to the field of becoming a violinist. So I changed my flow, going to the music compositions, and that's where I learned become a composer, of course, how to make music and all. But I never been really introduced to the side of the music business, or the how composer really achieve, how composer really earn their money and all. And after that, after I have done, actually how I get my work at the place same as Bobby is because I done my internship there, and that's where I totally like opened a whole new world, learning about a lot of stuff. That's when I start to interested in this field of getting to know about the copyright, getting to know about the music royalties, and that's how it become a case study for my master studies. Yeah.
Awesome. And
master research. Sorry.
Yeah. And how does it relate to your current position at Archive? So, ladies and gentlemen, just to let's simplify it from this point onwards, we call it Archive. Actually, the whole company is called Hub of Archives. and she does work in the Taja Archive publishing side, and I'm working on the Archive Capital side, more on the project planning side. So yeah, how does it relate to your case study? Right? How does it relate to your current position in Archive?
Okay, since okay, let me. Sorry if I can correct you there. I don't right now. My main is not really on the publishing. I won't say anymore. It's like I always do job at the publishing side, but right now my main is on the administration on the label team. But yeah, how you asked me how does it related to my master research, right? Okay, so the thing that I am researching right now is the how the mechanism be implemented by Taja Archive in solving the copyright and musical work issues, but from the previous case of their songwriters, which actually already been solved. So what I'm trying to do is to put it on my research so that people can read how it happened, what does happen, and how to solve it in the future. It may help the songwriter out there. It can be from the older generation songwriter or the upcoming songwriter, but I hope that my research can help them when they read and they know what are their rights and what are they supposed to get and what are the thing that they should do if something did happen to them and how they can gain their own money back. Yeah, something like that.
So can you have been studying about the trajectory of a songwriter. So can you it depends on you how simple, or how complicated you want to explain it, but can you take us alongside the approach of the person, like starting from them right, like waking up and they write a song, and then they record, and then they register, and then they do all this all the way until they are 80 years old, and then they make a lot of money from the royalties. So can you just bring us along that journey?
You're a composer, or I would say you're also. I also am gonna mix up a little bit of like explaining like what if you're only an author, what if you're only a composer thing, okay? So if you're only a composer or only an author, you make a song and someone else sing it. During you make a song, you don't really get paid for it. At least there is some cases where people do this thing of buy off something, like, oh, you do this one song and I give you, that is an example, I give you 10,000 for something, and buy off. Buy off means like all of the musical work copyright, means the royalty of the musical work you do, you give to the person that pay you. But I won't suggest you to do that because it depends on people. Either you want a fast money that you're gonna gain during that time, or you're gonna get a money that might gonna last you a longer period, long term. Yes. So I would say that I'm gonna tell on the side of the long term. So if you compose a song and then you give to a singer, but during you compose your song, you didn't get any payment, right? So already when the song be recorded, supposedly even for the recording, if you want to do a proper recording, there's a license need to be paid to the composer because you guys are doing their IP, intellectual property. So that's already one license. And when the songs comes out, of course, from the sales, from the streaming platform and all, there's also a collections of royalties that you're going to gain as a songwriter of the song. And so when a song is being used for public performance and all, there's always royalties comes with that. And also when people want to use it for a commercial use, there will be more clearance that need to be done there, because the song is being used to gain the site that using the song, gain them money. So they are gaining money from the song, so they should make a clearance to the songwriter of the song. So okay, I be telling about the royalties that there are. I would say there's a public performance royalty. Public performance means like every time your song being played anywhere, that's mean performance, not really it does not mean that a performance royalty doesn't mean that, oh, when someone go on the stage and sing your song, oh, that's only considered performance. Not every time, anywhere your song being played, that's called a performance royalty. Then we have synchronization. Synchronization, as we all know, the word sync is when a video and audio come together. So any video that have your song synchronized with your song, there's a royalty there. And also a mechanical royalty is when this is the most popular one, the sales. When there's a sales, so when there's a sale, there's also royalty for the songwriters. The fourth one will be printing royalties, like we know scars and yeah, obviously the printing, the thing that's being printed out,
Lyric
your
book, all
oh
the cover
yeah, the
arts and
lyric
all.
book, yeah, exactly. That's considered as printing royalty. And the last one is grant. The grant, it means like if you making for example a concert at Istana Budaya, something like that, and you're going to use it only for a week, so you can deal with the publisher to get a grant for that event to use a certain amount. So the dealing will continue, like how big is the event, how long is the event going to go and all, yeah. So that can consider as the grant. So yeah, that's a bit about the royalty part. And just like I mentioned just now, that's anywhere can get the royalty money, right? So that's how I was talking about how the composer gonna get a long-term royalty monies. And of course, as we know, if the song popular, or say if the song being used by lots of people, yeah. So that's how you can gain a lot of money instead of just sell it out, just bail out with one-time payment. It's not really suggestible for me, for me as a people in the industry.
But yeah, if the song becomes famous and popular, it means more work for the both of us. So I guess that's the
Yeah. Yeah, but that's the fun when seeing someone
yeah,
works
that's a
being, yeah.
yeah, because you're not really coaching them. You I don't know, you're supporting them in their journey, in the
Yeah,
songwriter's journey in a different way.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Uh, I'm not sure, maybe because if people say that I'm being biased because I'm also a songwriter and all, but yeah, but it's a happy scene seeing someone successful with their compositions. Mm.
yeah, in the real world, yeah, it's true. But do you have what is actually the difference between like in your seat, right? Between being a music person, a musician, a songwriter yourself, and being a person managing the songwriters. Like, do your skills and your knowledge transfer into the management, administration, business side of it? Like whatever that you've learned from diploma, degree, and then now you're using as case study for your postgrad studies. Like, does it actually
Mm.
help? Because a lot of the terms that we do come across, and you did say like it's more of, I don't know, accounting terms, legal terms.
Yeah, yeah, correct. It's more of a legal term, the word that we learn from the copyright law book. And
Mm-hmm.
to be honest, during our diploma, we do have this one class that brief us a little bit about the uh, licensing body in Malaysia, but it's only a brief class that we only know, like, since I'm not sure if the one who gonna watch this video know about it or not, so I'm gonna mention about MACP, RPM, and PPM. So what we only during that time, maybe I'm not really focused, I don't remember much, but now what I can differentiate, I can say that
Same here.
what I can say is that
Mhm.
because during my degree as a composition student, we don't really have a class learning all this because we really focus on composition. So if you say that does it apply, I would say that I learn more during the work and my internship, because I believe maybe I will learn it if I join the music business department, but because I'm from composition department. So yeah, but that's the thing that we talked before, right? We hope that this knowledge about business should be put in the composition, because is the composer that going out there and going to face the world and going to receive this copyright, so they should at least know the basic of this all copyright, right?
Actually, let me ask you a better one. Shouldn't it be better if not just for composition, for all the departments?
Yeah,
Like
actually.
every
uh,
kind of study that you do, even for my study is more psychology,
uh,
and then I realized that even for my psychological works, my therapy works and all, with as a, as part of my research, I
yeah,
still had to know, I still didn't know about
yeah,
the dangers of writing my own songs and then putting it on video
Yeah.
and then putting that video online,
Yeah.
all in the name of therapy or whatever. But it's still, that still has some legal implications to it. Right?
Yes. Okay, we'll go back to the just now what the licensing body. We haven't mentioned it, right? Like in details.
Yeah.
I'm sure some people want to know. Like I think the most famous one is MSCP. Everyone knows about MSCP, but MSCP is only taking care of the musical work. Just like I mentioned, is related to the publishing, because that's why publisher and MSCP is like best friend. Yeah. Okay, now I'm gonna go a little bit why publisher is important. Yeah. Okay, so like we say, every royalty that I mentioned just now will go to the MSCP. We go in, the money gonna go into the MSCP, and that's where the from MSCP is go up to all the songwriters and the publisher. And as for why I say it's important to have a publisher, is because MSCP do not have a system or people who work to like research. For example, okay, Bobby Rose, you're a composer, but they got the money, but they won't go around and search, oh, this company, this show, concert use your song, and Bobby, you have to know. MSC doesn't do that job, because their work is they collect the royalty and they just distribute to you guys. They give them back to the members of MSCP. And that's where the publisher comes in and publisher work, because they know they're songwriters. They know like when a concert use their songwriters song, they will like they will do the dealing with the clearance, the license and all. And also they're the one who, I would say, investigate where the song being used and all. And also there's one synchronization royalties in which from what I heard, in Malaysia there's one society called MPA, Music Publisher Association. Yeah. From like Media Prima and all, they are the one who collect this blanket that the synchronization is being, if like it's from television like Media Prima and all, is being put under a blanket royalty, I think the name, blanket. So the blanket is being claimed by the MPA, and only a publisher can claim it from them. So if you are only a sole songwriter who doesn't have a publisher, but your song suddenly being played on the TVs and is under the blanket category, how can you claim it, right? Because you don't have a publisher. So that's why I say that it's important to have publisher. And also publisher admin all your works. They help you dealing with the client if they want to use your song. So it's the word that my boss used is, the publisher is the librarian to the songwriters. They will manage you, they will check out your musical work, so okay, that's on the MSCP and publishers. Okay, so that's like I say, MSCP to the songwriter, musical work. Let's go to PPM. Okay, so Public Performance Malaysia, the only thing that you need to know, they're taking care of the royalties and they're taking care of your master recording. That's just I say. Okay, so PPM, best friend with labels, record labels, because it's about handling with the copyright of the master recording. Okay, just like now I say, if someone want to use your song on a concert, you need to get the clearance from the songwriter, because it's the IP, the musical works of the songwriter, so you need to deal with the publisher. But then I would say that the concert is not a live one. I would say that the concert is that you guys only lip sync or use it as audio and you guys perform it on a dance. So you are using the master recording that originally being recorded by the label or the repertoire owners. So that's where you need to deal with the label and getting the clearance of the master recording. But if only you perform it live and not the one being recorded in the studios, then it's only related to the publisher and the songwriter, just like I mentioned just now. So PPM is taking care of the master recording. And lastly, RPM.
Recording Performers Malaysia.
Okay. That is RPM.
Performers,
yeah. So RPM is taking care the royalties of the people who perform in the recordings, in the making of the master recording. So it's this related more to the musicians. related to more to the artists that sing in the music recording. Yeah.
Yeah. It's either the main artist or the sessionist
Yeah.
of the recording.
Yeah. Correct.
Yeah.
So okay, that's differentiate the three. Licensing body is actually only MSCP. The two is a body.
I guess it's very thorough when you put it that way. But was this idea ever presented to you, like for the general music graduate? Because I realized that half of our listeners, if not more, might lack this information and might be scrambling around MACP, RPM, PPM, and we didn't even go into MIPO and all the
That's a bigger one.
Yeah, that's a big, but it is an issue, right? Don't you think so?
Yeah, it is an issue because we are not being thoroughly educated about this. I believe time will change sooner or later, because even our boss is fighting to educate a lot of songwriters as much as she can out there. She's been receiving a talk from university and all, and try to start to give this knowledge to the upcoming songwriter out there, the next generation. Yeah. But if you ask, like, did I really learn it from my undergraduate study, I can say that I don't want to seems like I'm talking bad about my university. My university is very good, but yeah, I don't really learn it.
Yeah, okay. See, that's the thing. That's the beautiful thing, because it's not. We're not talking about your university or my place or other learning institutions or whatever. It's just the nature of. I don't even know if it's the nature of Malaysian music industry or Southeast Asian or Asia or whatever. But I feel like around the world, more often than not, because you've been to different countries with different UITM performance ensembles, right?
Oh
And
yeah,
I've been
choir.
to,
Yeah.
with your choir. So I've been to Indonesia and Vietnam with that work. I have never heard a musician, a songwriter, a performer, an artist ever talk about this.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if it's a Malaysian, like I said, I don't know if it's a Malaysian thing or it's a global thing. But
Yeah, correct. Because before this, I love to watch a lots of like surviving music shows from around the country, like even on Asian, from China and from Korean and raw. And before this, I never realized they talk anything about this. But lately, like I would say last year, suddenly I watched this one show from China, and they suddenly joked around about, oh, don't use that. Later gonna get clearance issues, because maybe they make suddenly they make jokes on these copyright issues, and suddenly they know about this seems like all the participants, the musician kids, I would say the one who participate on the show know about it. So I think it's finally start to grow, means this thing is slowly being exposed to all the musicians there. Yeah.
okay, it's slowly being exposed. Everybody, the awareness.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Raising
yeah.
awareness, and we have we've seen the clips with discussion of people from RPM, MIPO, all the different associations and bodies. They're always talking about raising awareness. And, okay, fine, it's good. It's good. That's great that you are doing those efforts. But would you ever think that there is a point that people would be, because now we're living in an age where, I mean, like, during our generation, we're living in an age where when we are young, I want to be a musician when I grow up. I want to write songs when I grow up. Will there be a time where I want to be I want to do like what Qisthina does when I grow up? I want to manage. Don't you think that's a bit?
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
I think maybe this question is good for those who take the field of take the I would say take the path of the music business, right? But I believe I have a few friends from music business, and what they say that they are learning is more on the marketing side and more on like business, really business
Promotion,
side, not really.
publicity.
Yeah, promotion. Yeah. So I think the work that we are doing, like what I'm doing right now, may interest to the people who want to go to the side of the music business, I think. Yeah. Okay, but again, like you say, want to inspire younger generation about, oh, someday I'm going to do this music business thing. I would say that that's quite weird, because people, the younger generation doesn't even know the business sides of the music, or they know when it's music it come to the art sides, about playing the instruments, about learning the arts of the music itself. But if you say about working the business, I would say this field may interest more to the people who interested in business itself. Yeah.
Yeah. That was my follow-up question, because I think people who study, okay, not only about business. If you want to do business, you can work with any kind of people in the creative arts space. If you do what do you call it? Law. If you do law,
Law,
if you
yeah,
are
yeah,
a
yeah.
lawyer or legal issues, you can work with anyone. Even if you do social studies, and then you want to promote about a person's empowerment and blah blah blah, you can work with the creative arts space. But nobody in the creative arts space wants to step back and look into these different tangents, right?
Yeah, yeah, I
Because
understand.
it's more
Yeah.
of a, yeah, it's more of a non-musical thing. Don't you think so?
It's like, what is the left and right brain? Which one is arts? Right, right.
Oh, I should know this. Right.
Right,
Well,
okay.
we're just gonna pretend, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, if you find that it's wrong, just imagine I said it with a mirror effect, because I'm on camera anyway. So my right might be your left. So, anyways, uh,
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, okay, this is a bit of a joke thing, but as we know, we are usually a right person. For music, yeah, right brain person. But for our boss, she is quite balanced, because she did this one test and showed that her brain is quite balanced between the two. Maybe because she interests in music and her husband is more on music side, and they are both my boss. So from what I can hear, my boss that do the studio thing, he will say, okay, music is this art, something like,
priority.
yeah, music is priority and all. But from the, like, we all know, music is art thing. But from my publishing and label side boss, she will say, music is what? Music is business. Music is money making business. All
Yeah,
that she
yeah,
can think about the flow or how making a money from the music itself. So I would say that her focus is more on the business side, even though actually she's also a songwriter. She's a composer and a lyricist on a few, I would say once a top most popular song of the year. Yeah. So she's also had that side of arts, but her brain work very goodly on the business side. So I think we are already
yeah.
walking too far apart from your questions. So can we get back to what you want to focus more for me to talk?
No, I mean it's very interesting you put it that way, because okay, let me summarize. Yeah, you start by writing the song, and then you record the song. Then after you record the song, you register the song,
Mm-hmm.
and then you stream the song, like
Yeah,
like
distribution. Yeah,
distribute the, yeah, and then you collect the money from the TV, radio, all
any
the
streaming
different medias,
platform.
like, yeah. But the only artistic thing that I can see from there is just that first part.
Yeah,
At the most, yeah,
exactly.
at the most is those first two steps. Like, okay, you
Yeah,
perform the song, and then when you record, you have some creative expression. But then everything after that is just documentation, signing documents, signing contracts, and all that. Yeah.
yeah. That's why a lot of
Maybe the music
compose.
video at the end. Yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah,
yeah. You're saying,
yeah.
yeah, you're saying.
So that's why a lot of songwriter out there, or band or artists, they do the two front part by themselves. Then starting the registration part, they will look for publisher, and they will look for a label that will administrate them, and then look for distributor to handle the distribution for them. That's where the people who like us comes in. That's where we work. That is our work. Yeah.
And when you say where people like us like come in, do you think that this line of work actually caused you to go away from your personal goal? If you don't mind me asking, like your
Yeah.
or
Okay.
is this your ideal world? Is this your
Okay.
idea? Oh, everybody should know about it.
I'm just gonna say from that question, just to say what my target from 10 years is it?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if like my big dream, it will be I would like to have I would like to become a music producer like my boss. Yeah, Tajam Mustafa. He teach me a lot. Yeah, but I would like to become a good music producer that compose. And yeah, since as you guys already know, I'm from the composition field before. But now since I already know on the administration side, on the copyright side, on the what are my right sides, I think it will become in handy for me in the futures to like I can possibly manage everything on my own. I would say on my own, like alone. Maybe have some people work with me and all. Yeah. So if you say that this field right now, what I'm doing right now is my dream job, I would say is the process. Right now, what I'm doing is learning. I'm learning
Mhm.
towards reaching my goals in my life. Yeah, I would say that. Because as I mentioned just now, I didn't only work on the publishing house. I didn't only work on the record label. I also work on the studios. I work on three different company, which sectors in the music industry, which involved in the music industry. So I'm learning a lot. Yeah.
I know, and that's very encouraging when you put it that way because it's a process. It's not that
Mm.
this is what you go like we talked about earlier on.
Mm.
Not a lot of music people would want to grow up and then go into this job, but it's actually a stepping stone to where you will be
Yeah.
later on,
Yeah. Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is to be a full-fledged producer, not just a music-minded producer, but to know every part, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, who knows if I succeed in all this field and all, maybe I can even open my own record label and all, even or maybe collapse with my own boss and all. So yeah, it's a big dream for
Yeah.
far-fetched dream.
No, I know. I know that it's possible. Yeah. Yeah. I
Okay,
mean
then thank
that.
you for that.
But let me
Oh.
ask you:
Mm.
if
Mm.
there is a person that actually say that I am interested to delve into this and to raise awareness and to join your journey, to join your fight of not your fight, your effort of raising awareness and all. What is your suggestion to this younger generation, this junior or hypothetical junior or so? Where do you suggest that they would start?
Mm.
Besides listening to this podcast episode, of course.
This is very cruel word or cliche. I don't know it's cruel or cliche. You need to experience it. You need to
Yeah.
learn from you need to learn from the experience, of course. And yeah, always do some reading, because from what I know, this is only from maybe from my point of view and from my colleagues, not from my colleagues, from my acquaintance and people around me.
Mhm.
What I found is that people who work in the arts or say music doesn't really like to read read stuff, I would say. Yeah. So why, Bobby?
Ladies and gentlemen,
Why?
I just have to defend myself. That eye roll was
Yeah.
specifically because I've been told by her and by our boss, just shorten 1,000 words, shorten it to 50 words. So I'm like, put
Oh
a graph,
yeah, that's
put a
right.
graph. Don't.
Yeah,
That's
see,
not what I
like
do.
even Bobby, like even Bobby, what he experienced right now, like if boss wants to do a book, who explaining all this copyright thing, is a maybe I would say 30 page or maybe 50 page of words. She would like Bobby to shrink it to what is there's not 50 line paragraph, is it?
15 lines. Girl,
Yeah,
she literally
yeah,
asked, okay, maybe this company product, but if it was
yeah.
not only our boss, but like people in this thing will always say like, can't you just make it into a mind map? That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then that's
This already show. Yeah, this is already show because people who interest in this doesn't apply to all, of course, but from what I see, they doesn't really like to read a lot of things. Even when I give, for example, I give a form to application for registration for a membership. They say, "Oh, lots of work. Where should I sign? Only tell me where should I sign? Where should I?" Yeah, that's the thing. You can't sign if you don't know what's in. If it's in, for example, agreement or contract, you can't sign if you don't know what's in the agreement. Please read it. Please
yeah.
know what's the stuff. Please know what your rights. Read it through. Learn a bit more. Then you sign. Then you sign. Yeah, yeah. Because that's the biggest case. I've been around listening to my boss dealing with cases, and most of it is that the trick is being played on the contract, the words there,
Yeah.
because uh, most won't really read. Some, even though if they are read, they don't really understand the word means, or
Yeah.
they don't really understand what are the clause. Oh, maybe this clause means I'm going to receive this money later on, or this means something. So you
Yeah.
need to do some study on yourself first. Since you say this is advice to the younger generation, right? Please do your own study, get help, as around who you think that know about this stuff. Maybe you could just directly contact MCP, PPM, RPM, and just ask around. Yeah, don't. The final word I would say, don't simply sign.
Not just contracts and agreement, but like to start off the net, yeah. Not
Yeah,
don't just simply
yeah.
agree.
Don't
to
don't
start,
simply agree. Yeah, even if in
Because-
your word, if you're a composer and all, if you think that that is your word, stand with your word. Don't simply agree with everything. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say I don't want this advice to seem like we are suggesting them to be a rebellious. No, don't be that. Don't be that also. Find a middle ground. Find a middle ground
Exactly.
where yeah. Yeah, I hope that can give an advice. Yeah, you need to experience it in this world. Experience value best, right?
And seriously, that's very true. At least from our many discussions, even before this episode today, there's no such thing as let's get on Coursera, let's get on online studies, and then you can read a book about all this, but it won't stick. Especially if you're a music, it just won't stick. Yeah, you have to experience it,
Yeah.
and that's a very good way to put it.
A little bit of promotion if you want to know more about musical work, MSCP royalties. You can just come to Taja Archive, Sdn Bhd.
That's a very straightforward way to put it, actually. But it is true, ladies and gentlemen. If you are curious on half the things we say, if not all of it, talking about MACP, talking about RPM, talking about PPM, talking about MIPO, talking about intellectual properties and legal issues, contact us. Send us an email, drop us a message. We did talk a lot about technical terms, which it's part of our job. So the jargon is quite foreign if you're not familiar with it. You can just Google these things, or drop us a message, send us an email, follow us on social media if you wanna understand more of what we do. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we will call it a close for today's episode. We'll see you on the next one. Thank you so much.